Hey, do you ever feel like things should be moving faster? Maybe you got a bunch of ideas and a lot of things that are coming into your mind and your awareness, and you feel like they're inspired ideas and you should act on them, but you just don't. And then time passes, and then maybe you finally do take action. I want to help you eliminate that procrastination problem for good in this video. All right, let's do it. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. One of the things that I've been thinking about this week is about getting stuff done, and not just getting stuff done as in like in productivity and time management and that kind of way. Did you guys know this? I don't know if you're aware of this. The concept of time management was originally designed to sort of get the most out of people who were in corporate positions and work in general. And these people got together and they thought, like, what can we do to basically get the most out of the people who are here and get the most out of their time so that the company can be more productive and we can make more money, which in theory sounds good. That sounds right. Sounds like that's what you should do. The problem is, though, that idea of productivity and time management has been passed on to entrepreneurs, have been passed on to business owners. And I don't know about you, but like when I was first starting out, I realized very fast that I had to figure out a way to get stuff done or nothing was going to get done, right? And you're probably like this too. Maybe you're not, I don't know. There's a lot of, everybody's different, whatever, but I had a hard time managing my time and it would stress me out. I would think, oh my God, I just keep procrastinating. I just keep putting these things off and nothing's actually getting done. I'm just sitting around thinking about stuff all day. You guys relate to that? Okay. And then I realized something. I realized that theory, that whole idea of time management is not actually made for me. It's not actually made for us. I have a friend and mentor. His name's Richie Norton. He wrote a book called Anti-Time Management, and he talks about that. He talks about how when this concept was designed, it's designed by people who already have a castle, right? So you think about a big company, that company is a castle, and they get people to work to build the moat around the castle to protect the castle. And so when we start our own thing, we think, oh, well, I've been building the moat this whole time, or I've been seeing how we've been built the moat. I've been trained up in school and everything else to build the moat. And so I should probably build the moat first, and then I'll build the castle. But that's not actually how starting a business works. That's not actually how contribution works. You have to show up and build the castle first, and then you build the moat to protect it. The castle is your business. It's your work. It's your family. It's the life you want, the life you really want in our building. That's the castle. And you build that first, and then you do the work to protect it. But that is already there. He calls it living from the dream. I always love that idea. Instead of trying to build a dream that maybe happen one day, and maybe we'll retire one day, and maybe we'll be able to travel and do all this cool stuff one day after I build up this moat so that then I can build the castle and the life I really want, right? So we got that backwards, and it's not really your fault. You and I too have been trained and indoctrinated by this concept of time management and protecting other people's stuff. That wasn't actually what I was planning on sitting down here and saying today, but it just came to the top of my head, so I sped it out here. But I want to tie this back to something that I noticed this week. A friend of mine who a couple of years ago, we said that we wanted to start jujitsu together. We wanted to do it at the same time together. We live in different states where we were going to start. And so I took that seriously, and I went and I signed up, right? And I signed up in January of 2023. And I just crossed over my 2-year mark. My friend did not sign up. He did not sign up for jiu-jitsu until this year. And while I'm stoked for him that he's finally like practicing this art that I have fallen in love with too, that's really cool. And I'm stoked, and there's never a bad time to start something. However, I just was struck with this realization that I'm 2 years ahead of him, and there's so much to learn. Like there's so much to learn, and he will never catch up to me. And I'm not saying that just from like me, like I'm so good or whatever. It's just like legitimately the gap is so big because I took action earlier. And so when I said at the beginning of this video that I wanted to solve a procrastination problem, I watched a video from Myron Golden one time, and he said this. He said, procrastination is not a problem. Procrastination is always a symptom to a problem. And the problem that procrastination is a symptom of is anxiety. And anxiety is the thing that steals your present energy, that prevents you from doing the thing, that prevents you from acting, right? And Bryn was anxious about starting this, but it goes to show you that when you have something that you want to do and that comes to you as an inspired idea, you shouldn't delay on acting on it, because there is a reality to the situation. And that reality is that if you start now on the thing, whether it's a business or a book or the podcast or whatever you're wanting to start, getting healthy, that puts you ahead of the version of you who wouldn't have started. It puts you so far ahead that person could never catch up. If you read a book every day, or if you read a book like every month or every week, the likelihood of someone who doesn't read that much catching up to you in knowledge and experience is almost, it's astronomical. It's like, it's impossible. You would have to completely stop in order for that. Now, I don't want your motivation just to be to get ahead of everybody. That's not my point. My point is that you should be striving to get ahead of the version of you who wouldn't do the thing. So whatever that looks like for you, whatever the thing is that you're delaying, that you're procrastinating on, know that you don't have a procrastination problem. There's something in you that is manifesting this anxiety about doing the thing. And I talked a lot about anxiety and anticipation and stuff last video. So I guess I'm on that kick at this time of year or whatever. But it's true. So what are you going to do today to act on the thing? And let me tell you something. One of the things that I talk about in the Creative Codes workshop that I'm going to be doing next week on the 24th is this idea of inspired action and what it looks like to live a life that is acted upon. What I mean by that is a lot of times I spent a lot of my life, and sometimes it still creeps in, where I'll have an idea and I write it down, and that's the action I took on that idea. How freaking heartbreaking is that to think about this idea that came to me from nowhere that I thought was so brilliant enough that I had to write it down, but I'm never going to do anything else with it except write it down. And I became stuck in that loop, so much so that I have notes from years and years that I could scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll to see the ideas that just float out. I mean, you're probably like this too. You're a person who just thinks a lot. You have ideas and you read, and these ideas come to you, my friend. That's creativity. And that is something that shouldn't be looked over. It's not that you need to do something for every little idea that comes into your mind, but you should learn to discern what the difference is between a distraction idea and an inspired idea. How do we know that? We get clear. And one of the ways, as you've watched this channel at all, one of the ways that I love to do that is through EFT tapping and breath work. So what I'm going to do right now is walk you through a very simple exercise that's going to help you get clear. And I want you to, before I do that, I want to pre-frame this with this thought. There's an ancient Hawaiian idea that's called Ho'oponopono. And the concept of it is that you say these 4 phrases. You say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And the idea is that when you say those things, there is a connection with a divine source that clears out old data inside of you that may be yours, may not be yours, or whatever, it's in the way. And when we clear that out, it's kind of like opening a curtain a little bit. And that makes room for inspired action to come through. So I want you to be thinking about those phrases when we do this practice I'm about to do here. And I want you to think about getting clear. And if you really do this right now, and you're not cynical about it, okay, you sit down and you actually take action on this right now, I'm curious to see what comes up. So let's do it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your nose. We're going to do that 3 times. And when you do that, I want you to notice, maybe for the first time today, maybe for the first time ever, what it feels like for the breath to come in through your nose and go down into your lungs. I want you to notice the sensations of that. And then I want you to notice how it's different when it comes back through your nose, breathing out. Cool? So let's do it. In through the nose. And out through the nose. And in through the nose, noticing how it feels. And out through the nose. Breathing in one more time. And out. Now, I'm guessing you already felt a shift. If you did that, if you actually didn't, if you didn't, what are you doing? What are you doing? You better get out. You better get after it, son. So I'm guessing you probably felt a shift just now. If you didn't, maybe you didn't do it. So go back and do it again. But a lot of times that's all it takes. And I feel like there's so much talk about like and hang up around doing all this stuff and meditating and doing these huge morning routines and things like that. It's like, no, whenever you feel like you're getting stuck, whenever you feel like you're procrastinating, whenever you feel like you're not doing the thing that you want to do, remember that you are fighting against time, not against somebody else, but against the version of you that acts versus the version of you that doesn't act on the thing. And so I want you to stop in that moment and charge yourself with new energy. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Do that 3 times and then take action right now. Okay. And I'm passionate about this because the truth is, man, we're all trying to leave a contribution here. And I'm going to talk about this more on the Creative Codes workshop. But if you think about all the people, all the creatives through time who have made contributions, who have written epic books, and like I'm talking about like Ernest Hemingway, Maya Angelou, like all these, there's just tons and tons and tons of artists I'm going to talk about on the workshop and show you examples of what their routines look like. And I'm going to show you examples and contrasts between the lives, between what the personal lives look like based on the type of things they were thinking about and where they were putting their focus. Because my friend, that's what matters. What matters is not about whether or not you're more creative than this person or whatever, or you have all this time in the world. It's about the perspective and the actions you take. So if you feel like you have a procrastination problem, know that procrastination is not a problem. Procrastination is a symptom of the problem. And it stems from a belief that the thing that you want to do or the idea you had or whatever, the belief that you can't do that or it's impossible, or if you do take action on that, it's going to be a waste of time. It's all these stories we tell ourselves. So it's literally just about shifting from the positive aspect of whatever you're thinking to the negative, or from the negative to the positive. And if you can do that on a regular basis through things like I just did here to slightly shift your focus and your energy, I think some cool things might happen. So give that a shot and let me know how it goes. And don't fall into the trap that you have to wait until some like crazy future when everything's perfect to build the life you want, man. The life and the work that you want is available right now. And, part of my work and my contribution here is to help charge you into believing that for yourself, right? And knowing what actions to take to do that. So I also know that there's a lot of things sometimes that aren't within your locus of control. That's okay, but it doesn't mean that you have to look at it in a negative way, right? It means that it's an opportunity for you to see it maybe different than you would have before. And I also know that there's things that are like real strategies that maybe you just don't know. And I want to help you with that as well. So if you're interested in this and you're a creative owner and you want more of this like power and presence and purpose in your life so that you can feel that drive, so that you have the urgency behind what you're doing. A lot of people are just missing urgency. I have missed urgency in the past. That has been a big void in my life before. And it always stems from a lack of focus on the positive aspect of whatever I'm thinking about. And that causes me to not take action, which causes me to not get the results that I want. And I'm guessing that you've experienced something like that before. So if you would like to shift that forever and have a system to not fall victim to that anymore, I would love to show you what that looks like. If you're interested in that, you're a creative owner, go to chriscree.com/codes, and you can sign up for the free workshop there. If you missed this one this week, I don't recommend that you do, but if you do miss this one this week, I will be doing it again. So if you're listening to this in the future and it's not January 2025, still go to chriscreek.com/codes and there will be something there for you to sign up for. Cool. All right. I love you guys. Go make something awesome. My name is Chris Creed. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.